Hello, hello, hello. We should be up and running. I should have video. I should have sound. I'm happy to be here. Welcome all my sister friends. Hey there, hi there, ho there. I'm going to pull up the chat. And I am going to start saying hello to everybody. And while I do this, you guys start adding further down in the chat whether you can hear me or not. And when I get down there, I guess I'll see if I'm talking to myself. All right. Hi, Lynn Skinner. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for moderating. I appreciate you. Athena, good to see you back. Hello. First time chatter. Athena, I don't think this is your first time here. Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of things you've written down below, comments on some of my videos. Okay, first time chatter. Yay! Welcome. Morticia, hello. It's good to see you back. Teresa Skinner, again, hi. All right, let's see here. Donna Miller, welcome. Heather Poff, welcome. Good to see you. Ethel, welcome back. Danny, hey. Who else do we have in here? Tammy Carter, hi. First time as a participant in the live. Hello from Seattle. Is it raining in Seattle? It probably is. Or maybe misty. Joanna Dunwich, hi. Good to see you. Sam Stewart, good to see you back. Tammy Carter. I think I've hit, I hate it when it jumps ahead on me. Well, you know what? Problem is, let me go to live chat. Let me tell everybody, if you're here right now, including if you're watching this on replay, in fact, especially if you're watching this on replay, you go to the little arrow at the top of the chat area and you click on it and you can switch from top chat to live chat. Top chat, it defaults to, and we can't change that, but that's what YouTube thinks you want to see. And then live chat will be everything in chronological order as people type it in. So live chat's what you want. In fact, if you're watching this on replay, you will see that sometimes the chat will just be blank for a while, or maybe even the whole time. I don't know, because I always click on it when I notice I'm watching somebody else's live and I'm partway through and I'm like, there's no chat. And I'm like, oh, right. Somehow top chat doesn't populate as well. So click to live chat right away and you'll see the chat pop up if you're on replay. But if you're here for this evening, welcome. I'm going to say hello to a few more people before we get to housekeeping. Wendy, RHPS, hello. Good to see you. Sherry Kempe. Finally home in Texas and time to catch the live. I'm so glad you are. I should be clicking on these so I post them, huh? Lynn Skinner, I'm going to say hello and thank you again because she is one of our moderators. I appreciate you always being here and being faithful. It's awesome. Joanna Dunwich. Hello, Jenny. Love it. All right. I have to hit the arrow down because it got stuck. I hope I don't miss anybody. Donna Miller, hello. Kathy Hartley, you can hear me fine in Australia. Isn't that kind of mind-blowing when you think about it? If any of you are seniors as myself, when we think about what, oh my God, do we sound like our grandparents and our parents right now? But honestly, I think the biggest jump in changing the world in terms of technology and updates and all that really happened in our generation. To say that we were raised with phones that were connected to the wall, with televisions you had to get up and change the channel on and then go back and sit down. No such thing as a computer, certainly in anyone's individual house. We didn't have them. If you were lucky, your household may have had a word processor, which was really just a typewriter that was electronic, so it went faster. The whole notion of the Jetsons looking at somebody's face while they're talking to them, I just thought that actually was the one thing I thought would be the coolest thing that could happen. And here we are walking around with our own better camera than we've ever had in our entire life, plus a computer, plus a phone, plus a video teleconferencing, like all, and everyone owns one. It really is mind-blowing. It really is. Okay, so now I sound like my mother and my grandmother. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Elizabeth Murphy, hello. And sister friends, good to be here with you too. Debbie Sue, hello. I think I may have said that already, but better twice than not at all, right? All right. Kathy Hartley in Australia. Nancy Curran in Rhode Island, hello. Passing for normal. Thank you for the super chat. How very nice. I'm glad you're passing for normal. I wonder if I am. Hello, passing for normal. And I really, really like your handle name. That's great. Are those new glasses? No. No. These are just readers, and I got them on Amazon in a package. I have red, blue, purple, pink. They kind of look the same. The purple, the pink, and the red. Well, the red looks red, but the purple and the pinks, they kind of look the same. Yeah, so they're a dime a dozen. And you know what, though? I must have a million of the purples and pinks because I don't wear them as often. And I use the black the most often, and then they'll break. And then I buy a whole new package again. But thank you. Do you like them? All right, they're adorable. Oh, you do like them. Thank you. Rhonda Delph, hello in Nashville. Good to see you. I'm glad you came back. Mountaineer 301, hello again. Good evening, everybody. Jane Ashley, good to see you in Texas. Renee, yes, you made it to a live. Welcome. All right. I think I missed a few, and I am so sorry. Alwyn, the mini chef. Hello from Sweden. Finally, my first live. It's 1:05 here, and I just love you. You must 1:05. I will say, the video that I uploaded today, I finished editing at 3:00 in the morning this morning, and then I set it to go live at 6 a.m. Not that many people are on at 6 a.m., but my European friends are, and probably some Australians are, just not us. So although I tend to be asleep at that time, I wasn't this past morning. I'm so glad you joined, Owen. Joanna Dunwich, hello from Alabama. Tammy Carter, hello. Karen Milky, hi from Louisiana. Mama Squirrel, glad to have you back. Janet Ebert, a little bit late, that's okay. I'm still saying hello, just to upset the people who get mad at content creators who say hello to everybody. Mariah Conley, you made it. Yes, you did. That's funny. I made it. Joanna, hello again. Joanna Dunwich, I grew up with encyclopedias inside of the internet. Me too. Had the whole set in our basement. That's how you did research papers. It's really kind of amazing. When I talk to my kids, they just glaze over. They don't realize. I'm like, it was a different time. We used our minds and imaginations to play. All right. First the Industrial Revolution and then technology. That's right, living an eclectic life. I guess we can rival the Industrial Revolution too. Lynn Skinner, you didn't have AC until you were 18 years old. Yeah, our house didn't either, now that I think about it. And I was around that age when my parents moved to another house and it had whole house air conditioning. All right. Marissa, hello. Teresa Skinner, hello. Old Spirit Art, hello. Lisa Owen, hey there. Jada P, good to see you. Heather Poff, Ezra, Danny, Lynn Skinner. Oh, so thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. What a generous super chat. Oh, wait, let me hit the little heart. Let me go back and also get the last one. Well, I will pop it down this way. Fan funding. Passing for normal. Shooting a heart your way as well. All right. Let me get back where I was. All right, I'm going to do some housekeeping here. There are so many people in this chat. The World Book. Steve French, hello. Danny, you were right next to Steve. I think I caught up. Okay. Shoot, what was the other thing I was going to say? Listen, today, after I posted my thing, I listened to it, which I really shouldn't do this late because by this time, so many people had watched it. But I'm like, I hope I didn't screw anything up since I was like editing it between midnight and 3 in the morning. And so I was listening to it while I was at the gym, but I wasn't looking at it because I was on like machines, like weight machines. So I'm listening to it and this commercial came through and I'm like, I'm not going to skip it. I'm going to listen to it all the way through. Because I think that monetarily that benefits me. I'm like, I've got nothing but time here at the gym. And it was a real interesting talk. I didn't realize it was like 25 minutes long, but I was captivated. And it was a kid who had brain surgery, had a brain injury, then brain surgery when he was younger, and he had all these learning problems. And long story short, overcame it and went from having a hard time learning and reading and everything at school to kind of becoming a super guru in that area, and actually goes to Hollywood to help. He gets hired to train actors on how to memorize lots of script at a long period of time. And then he started talking about just aging in general and how you can help make your brain work as effectively as possible. Obviously, if you're going to have Alzheimer's or something like that, it is what it is. But knowing that you can stay off things and make yourself work as efficiently as possible. And I thought by the end of it, I was going to buy it. 100% was going to buy it. I'm like, I don't even care how much this is. I'm going to have my son do it with me because there's all these little lessons like learning people's names I'm terrible with, putting faces to names, how you don't forget people's names anymore, and all, just a lot of good stuff. I'm like, I'm buying this thing. I don't even care how much it is. I'm going to buy this program unless it was, there would have been a limit. But generally speaking, I was convinced I'm going to buy this thing. It was like a 30-day program where you go live and you watch 10 minutes of stuff. Great. So by this time, I'm in the massage chair at the gym. So I'm listening to the last 10 minutes in the massage chair, 10, 15 minutes, but I signed up for a 20-minute massage and just enjoying myself. And then they kept saying, okay, now click on the thing down below. But then they would keep talking and they would share more information. And I swear he said he was going to share the hint on learning names and faces. So I thought, I'm going to listen all the way to the end. I listened all the way to the end, and then I'm waiting for them to go into the information on faces, and no, next commercial starts to play. I don't know how to go back and find the last one. It was gone. I listened to a 25-minute commercial. I didn't buy anything. And now I don't know how to find it. And I kind of want to click on it from my YouTube page because I know that somehow, I don't know how, I don't know how much, I don't know how it works, but I know there is a benefit as a content creator when people click on links from the commercials that are on your page. And also if they click to purchase something. So there you go. Best laid intentions. I planned on working on improving my memory and becoming better at things, and yet this is an example of why I really need that program. I'm going to go and watch it again at some point and see if that commercial will come back again because it seems like it would be really great. All right. Thank you for reminding everybody, Lynn Skinner, to hit the like and subscribe. I'm going to kind of talk to that in a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping, and then we're going to start in on chapter 8, which is Robin's chapter. Robin's chapter on the sisterhood. I'm dying to know what she's going to contribute. All right, first things first, this Sunday, don't miss it. I'm going to be live with James again. It streams through both of our channels, and it will be earlier, but I don't know what time yet. He said he was still working on things and figuring things out, and I didn't ask a whole bunch of questions like, well, what are you doing earlier in the day that you can't start till 10 o'clock at night? Because he is an East Coaster. He's not a West Coaster. I just assumed he was a West Coaster, but he's not. So I don't know exactly what time, but when the thumbnail gets posted, you'll see what time it is. So for those of you who go to bed earlier, understand, who are here in the States, and it's not starting till 10 o'clock at night. It will start a little bit earlier, but you don't want to miss it because we are doing the Robin chapter on matrimony, chapter 4. So that'll be a fun discussion on Sunday night. All right. I also want to remind everybody to please be kind. I want to thank the moderators for moderating so my channel doesn't get taken down. You can be fun, you can be sassy, you can even be raunchy, but you have to couch it in terminology like wet pencils and things. And then it's okay. But you can't be outright raunchy, or my friend Lynn's gonna take it down to save my butt. All right. What else is going on? And of course, always be kind to each other. Be kind to the person you're here watching. This is all for fun and games. It's all for fun and games. If it's so serious that it gets you angry, you just need to turn me off and, go listen to meditation or something else, because nothing on my channel should make you upset or get you angered by any means. And so unnecessary negative comments are not needed to any of the people that are in the chat. Please leave them out. All right. Okay. Now, this is my own personal solicitation to all of you who are here in our chat, and you know what? I'm not really prepared for this either, but I'm going to do it anyway. When I was at the gym today, and then after my commercial thing went down, I just clicked on something else on YouTube. And I don't know if anybody follows Cozy Gaming Mom, but I have followed her for a while, and she does Sister Wives and Seeking Sister Wives reviews, and she might do some 90-day stuff in that too. She just has a very cool, natural way of speaking. She prepares ahead of time, and she makes a whole script that she kind of goes from bullet points. So she is quick, and they don't go slow, and she's witty, and she's snarky. And I just find her entertaining myself. I enjoy her a lot. And so today I was listening to her channel, and when I clicked on it, I didn't even realize until I was listening that it was about, long story short, a lot that she's going through in her life. She has 3 young kids. She has a lot of medical issues, and it looks like after all these years of trying to work everything out, it's gotten to the point that she has to go and have surgery done, brain surgery. And she was very, very broken up about it. I won't go through all the details. If you want to go to her channel and watch the specifics of it. And then she has a lot of personal things going on also. Kind of reading between the lines of the video, you can kind of figure out what some of it is, but she's not willing to talk about that, so I'm not going to say anything either. But if you could just do me a favor and go watch that video she wrote, or go watch some of the Sister Wives reviews, or some of the Seeking Sister Wives reviews she does. It's just her on the couch with her dog. It's very laid back, but she's prepared. It's not just, a lot of empty blank space time as she's thinking. And she's got a lot of medical bills ahead of her. She's got a lot of fear. She's got a lot of nervousness. She doesn't even know how her kids are going to get from point A to point B when she has to go through this. And she's really, really struggling. And she had a very raw and real video that she put out today explaining why she's been gone and why it might be a little bit before she can get back to doing these videos again, but she will, because even though her channel is quite small, that she needs that bit of income that it comes from it. So it would be just awesome if a bunch of you could go and subscribe to her channel, and even better than that, just watch the content, because subscribing is fantastic because it lets you know. YouTube will start telling you when she posts things, and it'll come up in the algorithm. But better than that, the actual payout that the people get who have channels is from the commercials, which means watching the content. All right. Yes, Cozy Gaming Mom. Let me click on that. Living Electric Light. That's exactly how it is on her channel, Cozy Gaming Mom. And she goes by Cozy as her name. And I would really appreciate it. I know she would really appreciate it. It just really touched my heart when I heard it, because you know how it is, like after a while we feel like we get to know each other on this. And you know, just from watching her a little bit, I just thought, wow, she could use some support. All right, I'm gonna get going here. Owen, the mini chef, that is very kind of you. I really appreciate you. I shoot a heart your way. Whoops, I put a heart on it and it took it off. There we go. We're back. Oh, and Lynn, I also have, speaking of super chats. Oh, wait, I'm gonna show you what I have. Hold on. 4 pens. The Pilot G2s. The best. These are not going to go bad. And here's my pen that I'm using. My Pilot G2 pen. Love it. Best pens out there. Very excited. So thank you for that super chat. I got my pens this week. All right, Elizabeth, you listen to Cozy and she's lovely. Her jokes crack me up. Yeah, you'll enjoy her. And I've had people recommend to me to watch her. I'm like, oh, I do watch her already. And then I wrote in her thing once, I'm like, people keep recommending, but I'm watching you. And she goes, people keep recommending to me to watch you too. So I think we're very similar in our styles. So if you like this channel, you probably like Cozy. She has a completely different style from me. Not completely different, but we're not exactly the same, but I think to me, she's refreshing. She's very different from other things. All right. Other commentators. All right. Victorious. Welcome, Victorious. It's good to see you. You love a good Pilot pen. Isn't that the truth? All right. Here we go. Oh, Deborah, you love the yellow nails. You know what? I got them done today because it's right across the street from the gym. So it gets me to go to the gym. And I put this blouse on, but I noticed after the camera went on, you can't see any of the yellow in this blouse. There's yellow all over it. Every one of these little bubble things have yellow, but I don't think, at least on my screen, it's not reading at all. But it does match what I'm wearing, I swear. Heather said, just went and found Cozy Gaming Mom. We'll watch her stuff tomorrow. And those are great pens, Jenny. Yes. Jillian, hello from Australia. We have a lot of Australians in the house today. That is awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so let me get to the correct page here. And who else? Vicky and Shell are also from Australia. I don't think they were here last week. Vicky and Shell, if you're here, shout out, say hi. More Aussies in the house. Are you ready for Robin, people? All right. And keep chatting, keep talking to each other. I do not get offended. This is what this chat is all about. Some of you already are familiar with this content, so you don't need to. Just FYI, because I realize as I go back and I watch some of it later on, and some of the comments that come days down, I should say this ahead of time, I will not just start reading and continue reading the whole thing, because according to the guidelines for copyright infringement and all that, you need to be commentating on it. And I don't think reading the whole chapter and then commentating is appropriate. So every time something strikes me as ridiculous or stupid, or I just didn't know about it, or I just feel like I need a drink, I will pause, look at the chat a little bit, and commentate before we go back to the reading. All right, so that's why I don't do just a straight reading. Okay, here we go. Chapter 8, Robin. When Cody and I got engaged, we didn't have enough money to get married or to help me move from southern Utah to Lehi. But she did have enough money to drive from southern Utah. And by the way, by southern Utah, we're talking St. George. So from going St. George to Lehi 3 times to keep happening to run into Cody. She didn't have any money. Okay. All right. Janelle offered to let me move in with her. This could be a separate video, people. But I was desperate to avoid this situation. Oh, let's see her reason why. I needed time to explore my relationship with Cody. This would have been impossible living under the same roof as another wife. It's all about you, Robin. It's all about ya. You don't have 2 nickels to rub together. You come with $30K in debt. You make the family move you up there. And you refuse to stay in the house with everybody else. Because it would have been impossible to explore your relationship with Cody under the same roof as another wife. I mean, technically it would be under the same roof as 3 wives. Unbelievable. She's so selfish. Gosh. All they did for her, it blows my mind. Okay. She goes on to say, it wouldn't have been easy on anyone. I don't believe Cody would have been able to be as emotionally involved in our relationship had I been living with Janelle, nor would that situation have been fair on their marriage. So for the moment, I stayed put in St. George. Oh, this is after the engagement. Well, she didn't stay put in St. George for long. She got the apartment down the street. All right. Oh, I see Vladia's in the house. Hi, Vladia. Hi, JCK. Okay. Linda, if I haven't said hi to you, hey. Okay. I wonder how long she stayed put in St. George. Let's read on. Even though we had no money to get married, Cody dreamed of a big, fancy wedding. It's his view that since polygamists marry so often, they don't value the marriage ceremony and the reception as they should. They don't do enough to make the day special. For the most part, polygamous weddings are humble. Cody swore that when he and I married, it was going to be a big deal. Really? Cody swore that? Cody swore that. Okay, because if that's really true, then that makes me really hate Cody. I mean, as if I don't already. But he, after having 3 humble, well, Mary's was sort of normal, but then 2 extremely humble marriage ceremonies, insisted that she was going to get a big one. After the family and all these 13 kids, I don't, well, at that point, 12 kids. Oh, truly wasn't born yet. All right, I call BS. I think she's lying, and it was her idea, not Cody's. Okay. While I love all the sweetness and romance attached to a big wedding, I didn't want all the bother and attention. This is a girl who wanted to act and be a model. I didn't want all the attention. This comedy is a straight up comedy. Okay. And I certainly didn't want the drama I worried would come with the territory. I don't think she had any foresight at all. I do not think that she thought, no, I don't want to do this because I don't want the drama. She loves drama. Do you remember the test she took? She's the person who loves drama. Nah, another lie. We're still on the first page. The Browns had a comfortable and complicated family. I didn't want to come storming in with a huge party and make myself the center of attention. I wanted a quiet yet romantic wedding, and I wanted it to happen as soon as possible. But no matter what size wedding Cody and I decided on, we were going to have to wait. Okay, all right. There's so much here. Oh, gosh, we're not going to get through this chapter. I'm sorry. She wanted a quiet, romantic wedding, and she wanted it to happen as soon as possible. Okay, now she just said they're so poor they can't afford to move her up. But she wants the wedding as soon as possible. All right, so why do they have to wait? Let's find out what she says. It was not entirely due to financial constraints that we were forced to put off our wedding. We got engaged at the end of September, and I was hoping that we could find a way to be married by December at the latest. My future sister wives were unhappy with this plan. When I discovered this, I knew that I was going to have to be incredibly sensitive to their feelings and wishes as I planned my wedding. Do they say why? Okay, I'm going to read on. I quickly realized how foolish I'd been to consider getting married in December. I didn't want my wedding to Cody to distract from the Browns family holidays. I didn't want my event to eclipse the children's Christmas. Well, you did. She's completely twisted it around. She wanted to get married by December, but the wives were unhappy with this plan. She wrote that. Next paragraph. I didn't want my wedding to Cody to distract from the Brown family holidays. I didn't want the event to eclipse the children's Christmas. Okay, getting married in January was also out of the question, as it was Mary's birthday, Janelle's anniversary, and my son Dayton's birthday. February, too, posed similar problems. This is BS. You don't not get married because somebody has a birthday that month. No, this chapter has more lies than any chapter we've read so far in this book. It's ridiculous. Mama Squirrel said, she ruined all their holidays anyway. What does it matter? She ruins them all anyway. All right, Ethel. She didn't want Christmas to distract from her wedding extravaganza. By golly. Sure. Okay, so it can't be January because there's a birthday. It can't be February because there's a birthday. Well, we learned in the video, if any of you watched it today, there are birthdays in every single month except for September in the Brown family. Okay. It was Mary's birthday, Janelle's anniversary, and Dayton's birthday. While Cody and I were figuring out, or can we just say maybe, sorry, side note, could be that she didn't want an anniversary in the same month that another wife had an anniversary, because then there would be comparisons on what they did for their anniversary, and she already knew in her head her anniversary trips were going to be way better than the rest of the wives. Okay. Because wasn't there an anniversary also in January? Listen, we think it was more than a birthday. Who's Mary's birthday? Janelle's anniversary. While Cody and I were figuring out the best and earliest possible date for our wedding, the television show that he'd been discussing since we got engaged went from a dream to a reality. Oh, she does come right out and admit she knew all about TLC since the beginning. We've been discussing since we got engaged. Well, and they basically got engaged right away after they met. So basically, since I met him. It went from a dream to a reality at this point. And she's writing this from the perspective of pretty much coming in the family. This all happened really fast. So then they met, and then they met the wives, and then he proposed to her, and then there was a long engagement in the end. Okay, let's see if she fesses up and admits that she just wanted it on TLC and to be televised so it would be grandiose. I want to see. The show's producer, Tim Gibbons, sold a pilot to TLC. TLC was going to help us pay for our wedding. Oh, she admits it. All right. Kudos. All right, I give kudos to Robin. I didn't think she'd come out and admit it. I knew that having a big ceremony meant the world to Cody, so I contested. I consented. Oh, God bless her. She knew Cody wanted the big wedding. So she said, okay, I'll wait for TLC to pay for it so Cody can have his big wedding. You think Cody wanted those hundreds of dollars worth of butterflies, frozen butterflies in their hair too? Okay, let's go on. This immediately posed another problem. They wanted to open the show with our wedding. Cody and I vehemently objected to this. It would be a grave disservice to Cody's first 3 wives to feature his wedding to me in the opening episode of the show. Focusing on a new wife would shortchange their rich family history. Since the goal of the show was to exhibit the wonderful and wild Brown family, beginning with my story just didn't make sense. It would have been hurtful to all of those who built this family from the ground up. In addition to this, Cody worried that if the first thing the audience saw him do was get married, people would misinterpret his intentions and view him as the marrying guy instead of the family man he is. Okay, there's where I think the truth came in. I think the rest of that whole paragraph is BS. I don't believe it. I don't believe for a second. She said, no, don't focus on me. This isn't about me at all. It's about the Brown family. I don't want to come in until at least like episode 3 or something. I think she came in at episode 2, didn't she? Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. That does not have Robin written on it whatsoever. I don't believe any of this, but I do believe that Cody worried about his image. And he was worried that people would see him as more of a pig if it opened up with, I'm marrying my wife and I have 3 more. That would not look good to him. Or not look good for him, I should say. Let's go on. After much discussion, Cody convinced the production team to begin the show with the core family and then introduce my story. This meant, once again, pushing back my wedding. Poor thing. Now, my courtship would be extremely drawn out, and not only that, it would be filmed, something I'd never anticipated. I'm glad that Cody and I had time to ourselves before the cameras intruded into our lives. I'm sure that I wouldn't have gotten to know him had he been filming the show right from the start. She wouldn't have gotten to know him. What is she even talking about? She's just making stuff up. Okay. No, I love this. This meant pushing back the wedding. The courtship would be drawn out, but it would be filmed, something I never anticipated. I didn't dream for a second all those weekends I took all my kids' food money to get gas, to keep driving to Lehi, to keep happening to stumble in to events and places and locations where Cody Brown would be, knowing, because the whole church knew about the TLC thing long before it happened, obviously, had no idea that they would want to, if I got engaged to him, put this on television. Eventually, we were able to settle on a date for our wedding at the end of May. When I began to plan the wedding, I wanted to involve my future sister wives as much as possible. I was aware that since TLC had become involved, the wedding was going to be a much larger event than I was comfortable with. And I worried that the amount of attention lavished on my wedding day might lead to hurt feelings within the family. I wanted to make sure that my special day was as much celebration about my family as it was of my marriage. I wanted to do everything within my power to avoid offending my sister wives, some of whom didn't have the opportunity to have a large wedding. Some of whom, well, I guess Mary's, I guess you would consider it sort of large. I mean, it was in a hall. And it wasn't just immediate family, but I mean, it didn't look large. I mean, it looked like there were maybe 50 people there. Is that what she's calling large? Okay. I had also watched other women in our church who were coming into a family. Here we go again. Wait, I got to underline this. At some point, I'm going to do a video about all the times all the times that Robin claims she's using all this wisdom from other women in the church, or what she learned from watching other polygamous families. Boy, that Pilot pen works so nice. Okay. I had also watched other women in our church who were coming into a family not include the present wives in the reception and celebration of their marriage. I had heard horror stories about these wives being hurt as they watched from the sidelines as the new wife married their husband. I was determined to make it a happy day for everyone. Okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind the fact that she wanted to make sure that they felt included and heard and a part of it and all that. But the whole come to my cake testing and come to my dress fitting, my fake dress fitting, all of that, deep down inside, they couldn't have enjoyed that. I just don't think they did. I really don't think they did. All right. But she heard horror stories from all these women that she knows in polygamy. While I was beginning to plan the wedding, Cody made a large commission on a sign he'd been trying to sell for ages. We used this money and my tax return. She had a tax return? I should get money back. All right, my tax return. She even pay taxes? How does she pay taxes? Okay, wait, I lost my place. Sorry, it shocked me. That would imply employment. To help me and the kids move into my own apartment in Lehi. All right, so how much money do you all think she got on this tax return? $200, maybe. Plus Cody's big commission to move into the house. This made planning the wedding infinitely easier. It also allowed me to start developing a closer relationship to my sister wives. Of course, it would have been nicer for me to have been able to have a place either in or near the big house. Okay, she was offered that. Not in one of the other wives' apartments, but in my own. Okay. I just want to say that Janelle had the upstairs and the downstairs on her. She had the largest section of the three. Christine just had the downstairs. Mary had the upstairs and kind of like the hallway going across. So she kind of had a longer one. Actually, it seems like Christine ended up with kind of the smallest, but I do know that there were 3 bedrooms in her unit. So with the up and downstairs, I think they could have actually functioned as if they had 2 separate apartments. I mean, temporarily, for the time being. It wasn't like going to be a permanent solution. Nah, she didn't want to live with those other sister wives. Heather said she had 3 kids. Couldn't that have been a nice tax deduction? Yes, but in order to get the tax deduction, don't you have to work? Do you just get money if you're not employed at all? I always thought that it was like the deduction that came off of the taxes that you owe from employment. But my husband does our taxes, so I don't know. That was my understanding of it. All right. Maybe you still file it. Maybe everyone has to file one, even if they make no income. think when my kids were younger and they had to make like $300 or something. Like there is a minimum that if you earn less than some amount that you don't fill out a tax return. So I don't think you have to fill one out if you make nothing, now that I think about it. But maybe because they were under 21? I don't know. Okay, we don't have to talk. Let's not talk taxes, please. All right, let's get back to the story. Okay. All right, so she said it would have been nicer to be in the house, which she was offered and she denied, or near the big house. My understanding is that this house was like only a block or two away. It was very close. I just heard that recently on one of the episodes when they were kind of recapping and talking about it. They're like, oh, and her house was just like walking distance, really. So she couldn't have gotten any closer. So she really did both. So I don't know what she's talking about here. It's just another lie. All right, this would have made me feel integrated into the family instead of feeling like an outsider. Well, that was her choice. She would rather be integrated with Cody, if you know what I'm saying. However, this was not possible since the house was designed for a man with 3 wives, not 4. Not true. Could have done it. I know a lot of people probably misinterpreted the fact that I was given my own house as me getting preferential treatment. This was not the case at all. See, she knows. She knows right away. She knows. So that's why she's spearheading this off. Let me address this because people are going to see it as preferential treatment. There was simply no other reasonable option. No, there was a reasonable option. She admitted she could stay with Janelle. She didn't want to do it because she wanted to grow her relationship with Cody. It was a reasonable option. It was one she chose not to do. Another lie. Are we keeping tabs, folks? Too many already, right? Wasn't it the Robin chapter last time when there were so many lies? Was it a Cody chapter or Robin chapter? There was one time that it would seem like just like this, where it was like every 5th sentence was like lie, 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 lie. I can't remember whose it was exactly. All right, when I got to Lehi, I made it very clear to my sister wives that I wanted my wedding celebration to be about family. I made sure to include them in every step of the planning process. The flowers, the cake, the invitations, the food, the work. Of course she included them all. She needed servants. She couldn't handle this all by herself. In fact, Janelle even picked the location herself, which was great. Oh, I don't remember that. Do you remember that on the show? When they went and visited that location? What do you mean Janelle picked it herself? They all went together and looked at it. What's she talking about? What you talking about, Willis? All right. Maybe another lie. I don't know. My sister wives and I went dress shopping for my wedding dress. The experience was really fun, and it was great to bond with them. I loved having their advice, but I didn't find a dress. Later, I was looking by myself and was having trouble finding what would be appropriate. I had never been a plural wife before, so I was a little nervous about what to wear. Cody called right then. I can't believe this. Every single thing she knows everyone's going to judge her and criticize her about justifiably, she is like trying to combat in this book. This is all a story. This is all a story. Okay. Okay, where is that? So I lost my place again. I can't believe she wrote that. I was looking by myself when suddenly the phone rang. Wouldn't you know it was Cody? All right. Cody called right then and offered to help me, and I said yes. Wouldn't you know he was available? He's got 3 wives and 13 kids, but he was free. I wonder whose wives' night that was, or which wives' day that was that he decided to choose to go do the wedding dress. Later on in the show, Cody revealed this to everyone, and there we have it. She is just trying to make up a story here to cover her butt. I don't think he meant to cause any hurt feelings, but the damage was done. Janelle and Mary felt like I had pretended to want them involved in picking out my dress, and then behind their backs had Cody help me instead. Christine's struggle was that Cody hadn't helped pick out hers. I was frustrated with Cody for blurting out the story in a way that hurt my sister wives. I hadn't meant harm. I just needed to pick out my dress. God bless it. I just needed a dress. Can they just shut up already? I just needed to pick a dress. I meant no harm. No apology in here. And she said on the show that was supposed to be kept between the two of us to preserve the experience and to not hurt anybody. She knew it was going to be hurtful and harmful when she did it. She knew. So this is lies again. Okay. Have you gone quiet in the chat, or has my chat it just froze? Oh yeah, that's a whole different spot. Okay. Fake news. Ding, ding, ding. You know, every time I looked up, it was in the same spot. I'm like, does anyone else have an opinion on this? This is crazy. All right. After I chose my colors for the wedding, I wanted each of my sister wives to have the exact style of dress she would like, but all in the same color scheme. Mary wanted to use the wedding as an opportunity to take a family portrait. I wanted this portrait to focus on the family, not my wedding. So I had a second dress made to match my sister wives. That was all her idea. There's a lot of I's in here. I, and then I did this. Everything that's positive, that's family focused is I. This is what I did. Anything that's gone wrong was, whoops, not my fault. I didn't mean it. Okay. Although I would have been happy with the smallest of receptions, the wedding was absolutely lovely. I really felt that it celebrated not just Cody and me, but the union of our beautiful families. Sometimes I worried that it seemed as if I was getting preferential treatment. Isn't that the exact same line we just read before about preferential treatment? She's very much aware that she's getting preferential treatment, because this whole chapter is her spearing off and trying to come up with excuses for everything that's happened during the marriage. Oh, this is a good night. It's a good chapter. I like this. All right. Sometimes I worried as if I was getting preferential treatment. Groundhog Day here. I got the big wedding, followed by a long honeymoon. However, the honeymoon was both necessary and special to me. I never asked Cody for a 10-day trip. Guess what? He didn't give you one. He gave you an 11-day trip. Robin is the only one that calls it a 10-day trip. Everyone else calls it an 11-day trip. For her, it was a 10-day trip. And you can't say that one of them was a travel day, because you travel there and you travel back. So it's either she called it an 8-day trip, but it was a 10-day trip, or she called it a 9-day trip, it was an 11-day trip. But to be one day off, that's just her trying to shave it away and make it seem like that wasn't part of my honeymoon. Maybe because it took a half a day to get there and half a day to get back, so we're not going to count that. Even though that is time he's away from his wives and his kids. But we're not calling it honeymoon, even though it's just the two of us alone, romantically holding hands in the car, going for a drive, or going in the airplane. I'm not sure how they got there. San Diego's within driving distance, so not sure how they got there. All right, they probably flew. All right. I never asked Cody for a 10-day trip, but he must have had a sixth sense. that it was something important for us. Since isn't it amazing this, like, Cody, all the stuff Cody wants for them, but Robin didn't want any of it. She didn't want a big wedding. He wanted a big wedding. All right. Since we believe in remaining chaste before marriage, the honeymoon ushers in a new part of our relationship. Those 10 days were especially important to me because of the hardships that I had been through in my previous marriage. In addition to this, since I already had 3 kids, the minute we returned from our trip, Cody and I would be thrown into a cycle of homework and childcare. We would be developing our relationship as a married couple with 3 younger children. So it was wonderful to have such an extended vacation from the cares of home and private time to build our relationship. It was comforting to know, however, that when I got back, my maternal duties would resume. But I would no longer be a single mother. I'd have a wonderful husband and 3 sister wives at my side. I understand now that long my honeymoon, I remember reading this section when I did the video on the honeymoon. I remember that sentence being like, what? I understand now that long my honeymoon was somewhat hurtful to my sister wives. Interpret that however you will. Who didn't have comparable experiences. Maybe she messed it all up so it's her way of not being apologetic. Like, if I screw up all the grammar and the syntax and the words, people won't know what I'm saying. I understand now that long of a honeymoon was somewhat hurtful. Just somewhat. I made sure Cody called all of them several times during our 10 days away. But not all of my new sister wives took his calls. I found out later, when we returned home, how upset some of my sister wives were that Cody took a longer honeymoon with me than with them. It's just logic, people. It's just logic. I mean, I could divorce my husband and he could take his next wife on a honeymoon that's twice as long as mine, and right away I'll be like, really? Really, you didn't even consider doing that for me? But if he took on another wife now and did it while I was still with him, snip those balls right off. I don't know why this is news to her. She clearly does not understand relationships and polygamy. Polygamy is about thinking about other people's feelings all the time. Oh, she didn't understand. She lives in Robin's world. I remember Christine talking to me and saying, quote, if you needed that long, just tell me. She needed that long, just tell me. I need to know you needed it, end quote. I told her that I needed it, but I didn't know how much until I was on the honeymoon with Cody. She needed it, but she didn't realize it until she was on the honeymoon. So at the point that she planned it, she didn't need it. She just wanted it. So it switched from her wanting it to her needing it, but she didn't realize she needed it until she was actually there. But now she can confidently say she needed it. So let's disregard and put aside and not pay attention to the fact that I just wanted it. I didn't need it at all when we planned it. It just sounded great to me. Okay. When you have been married and divorced, you can have the past come back to haunt you at the worst times. That's the end of the chapter. I don't know, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? That doesn't have to do with... What? Moving on. Not going to try to figure out Robin's head. Like many people who embrace plural marriage, I had an overly idealistic notion of how simple it would be to develop healthy and stable relationships with my sister wives. I understood that there had been some issues regarding my courtship, but I assumed when the wedding was over, these would be forgotten. Why? So you go on a romantic honeymoon for 10/11 days, and you thought that all the jealousies and hurt feelings and everything would dissipate during that time? This is the most ridiculous sentence I ever heard. Boy, she just plays the like, I didn't know, ever since the very beginning. I imagined that when I returned from my honeymoon, I'd easily slide into the Brown family. I thought the struggles my sister wives were going through would fade because Cody and I were now married. Mary and I had started out with a really great relationship when I started courting Cody. I was so excited to see that she wanted me in her family. She wasn't just looking for a sister wife. She was looking for a best friend. Oh, she got burned, didn't she? She got burned. I was overjoyed. She even pulled me into her room once and asked me what kind of ring and wedding I wanted because she would make sure it happened for me. It was my dream come true to know she cared about my happiness. Things seem pretty good. Wait, before we go on to Janelle and Christine, can we just say that in that previous chapter, there was this is a sisterhood chapter, but yet we're talking all about Robin's marriage. In Robin's very short chapter, because she has nothing to say about sisterhood, she had to put the whole wedding. Okay, it's making sense now. I get it. I'm like, what? Wait a second. I got confused for a second. I'm like, wait, we're talking about the wedding. What were those earlier chapters? Wait, those were the weddings. That's right. She didn't have much to say about the wedding. It was just about her engagement and falling in love with Cody is what she wrote in the matrimony chapters. Now in sisterhood, we don't have a whole lot to say. It's not going so well for Robin. So how about editors? I write a whole bunch all about my wedding and my honeymoon because that'll help our sisterhood. When they read that, that'll be great. Okay, but she makes it sound like her and Mary were just best buds. But earlier, was it Mary's chapter or Cody? I think it was Mary's chapter. I don't think this is when Cody had anything to say anymore. She talked about how she was working through things with Cody and going to counseling and therapy before Robin came into the family. And then there was a sentence in there too about how she and Robin would go to some sessions, just the two of them alone, to work through things that they were dealing with. So there were issues from the beginning. Robin makes it sound like all rainbows and sunshine, but something was going on. Okay, we'll move on to Janelle and Christine here. Things seem pretty good with Janelle and Christine as well. I was so excited to share a life and family with these three women. As a courtship progressed, Mary's and my relationship struggled. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. My goodness, if I had $1 for every time I stopped and talked and did commentary and then the next sentence answered my question. All right. We jump around, don't we? Weren't we just talking about the honeymoon and we were talking about planning and we were talking all about the honeymoon, but now we're going back to the courtship again. It's like, holy cow, follow the bouncing ball. This is a very Cody-like kind of train of thought. All right. Things seem pretty good between Janelle and Christine as well. I was so excited. As the courtship progressed, Mary's and my relationship struggled, but I thought that once Cody and I were married, that it would get better again. Once again, the idiocy. She just makes herself look so stupid. Like, do you know that when you act that dumb, that people think you are that dumb? You can't plead ignorance over and over and over again. You can't not learn from your mistakes and be respected by people. I'm sorry. Okay. I knew that Christine and Janelle were struggling too. But again, I thought it would all get better once I was officially part of the family and not just a fiance. So I just held on 3 times. 3 times she has a sentence in there about like, well, I thought that was all bad, but I just assumed once I got married, everything would be great. Why? What on God's green earth is going to make that? I don't know. No. Idiocy. When I chose to marry Cody, wait, is she saying that was, yeah. So she's admitting she had problems with Mary, Christine, and Janelle all before the wedding. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? Y'all probably read this, huh? I did not know that. Because she always makes it seem like, I didn't know there were any... I gotta underline that. That's another video that I'm collecting clips for. The whole, I didn't know. I thought it would all get better. Yes. I thought once Cody and I were married that it would get better again. I knew Christine and Janelle were struggling too, but again, I thought it would get better. What a dingo. I'm very anti-Robin tonight, can you tell? Not that I'm often pro-Robin, or ever. I think I've said a couple things nice about her in the past. All right. When I chose to marry Cody, I wasn't just choosing him. I wanted a relationship with Mary, Janelle, and Christine. While Cody and I were courting, I wanted to be close to his 3 wives. I mean, how many different ways can we say the same thing? Well, not too many, because those last 3 things were almost identical sentences. But now we're getting into the mantra of, I didn't just choose the man, I chose the family. I wanted the sister wives as much as I wanted Cody, but I didn't want to live with them. I just want to live with Cody somewhere else. But really, I wanted the family. I didn't want to live with the family, but I wanted the family. Just such a liar. All right, here we go again. I chose him, but I wanted a relationship with Mary, Janelle, and Christine. I wanted to be close to his 3 wives. Whenever I came over to their house, I think we're talking back about courting here again, or headed back to southern Utah, I would hug them hello or goodbye. Wow, she's great. I'm sorry. I need a drink. There's no alcohol in this, I swear. But wait, I'm on a medication only for 3 months. After that, I can start drinking again. I shouldn't. Not if I'm reading a Robin chapter. It'll go sideways quick. I had felt secure that these women were open to my arrival in the family. Now why? We are not going to get through this chapter. Every single sentence is just driving me mad. I had felt secure. Secure? She chose the word secure. I had felt secure that these women were open to my arrival in their family. Because you went to therapy with Mary and you knew that all 3 of them were struggling with this before the marriage. Yet you felt secure. Living in la la land there, Robin. Or just lying. But she felt secure because she gave them hugs. Hello and goodbye. After all, if they truly hadn't wanted Cody to marry again, it would have been simple for them to forbid it. No. Don't agree with that. Cody manipulates them. Mary wants a girlfriend so bad. And then Mary's the head honcho wife, being the first wife. Yeah, I don't think so. A man must have absolute permission from his wives before consent. Look at her, apologist again. trying to explain why all the wives were not happy that she came in, but she did anyway. This whole chapter is her making excuses for everything. I had no idea. Okay. A man must have absolute permission from his wife. Absolute permission. Just to say, absolute permission from his wives before considering a courtship with a new woman. Mary, Janelle, and Christine are an independent bunch, and they put their family first. If they hadn't believed that I should be part of their lives, they would have let Cody know. I think Christine did. But even believing that I belonged in their family doesn't mean it was going to be easy for them to make room for me. That's a much taller order. When I returned from my honeymoon, I was shocked to discover how much my sister wives were struggling. Oh my gosh, who knew? They were having a difficult time with this. They were cold and standoffish and struggled to make room for me in the family. Where I had expected openness and acceptance, I found walls. Oh, can we point out, too, that when I came back from my 11-day honeymoon, I went to my private home, that really nice little home, a couple streets away, also, all by myself. But I don't understand why they were standoffish and struggled. I don't know. I expected full openness in that, until I walked out the door and went back to my place with Cody in the evenings. I don't understand the problem. Robin. Even though I was married to Cody, it was still very hard for them. So hard that they didn't know what to do with me. What she means by that. I felt as if my mere presence threatened them. Well, that tracks. No matter how hard I tried to be sweet or kind, it still wasn't enough. All my naive expectations that we would be best friends flew out the window. Yep. My chat froze again. Sorry, people. Okay. There we go. I'll get it going. Unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. Shocking. She just thought she could be sweet or kind, and then it would be okay that there's another person taking another day of the week, that they get to see their husband a lot less, and that their kids are going to see their husband a lot less, and that she's bringing in no income, and oh wait, but she is bringing in a whole bunch of debt, and they're paying for an additional house for her. She just thought it would be all smooth. She had no idea. All she thought she had to do was be sweet and kind. Yeah. Yarning for a smile. Yarnertopia, hello and welcome. All right, so, I don't know. I don't know if we call this she's an idiot or if this is all just made up stuff to try to cover for herself. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. What do you think? Mary, with whom I'd once had a wonderful friendship, and I struggled a lot. All right, well, we just said we struggled right before the wedding, right? You guys were even in therapy together. You were struggling. So now you're back with him, and she can see you guys together, and now you're taking all this time. Although she took quite a bit of his time away before they even got married. We will learn how much time she actually will take, right? She's not going to just take a fourth, that's for sure. Mary, with whom I'd once had a wonderful friendship, and I struggled a lot. What a grammatically fantastic sentence. All right, I'm sorry. She felt that anything bad going on between Cody and her was somehow my fault. That really hurt me, since I had been ecstatic about the friendship I believed Mary and I could have. I didn't know how to repair our friendship, but I wanted so much to try. I loved Mary, and I wanted back what we had in the beginning. Well, here's another video idea going on down the road. The fact that Robin always plays dumb, doesn't know what's going on, and will let's get people together and talk, but she'll say nothing. I'm starting to think she's really not bright at all. At all. Like, she just can't figure anything out. Cody as well. That's something that kind of, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. I have these other tangents. I'm collecting videos and I'm starting to realize just how dense Cody really is when it came to the whole Coyote Pass thing. I really did. It was crazy. Teresa Skinner, how sweet of you. Thank you very much for such a generous super chat. Thank you. I think I can also... No, I can't. I can't heart that one. But I'll give you a heart, Teresa Skinner. Thank you. I think when they have those cute animated little things that are down there, which I love, by the way, is when I can't put a heart on it. Not that the heart means anything, but I just want you to know I saw it and I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go on here. I really didn't anticipate how much my sister wives would struggle with me coming into the family. She just keeps saying the same stuff over and over again in this chapter. I mean, if you just say it 1,000 times, it doesn't make it any better, Robin. It just makes you look dumber and dumber every time you say it. Come up with a new thought. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm whining. All right. I was unprepared for the fact that they believed I was the source of their pain. Those are different words anyway. We found another way to say it. I'll give her credit for that. Or the editor. I don't know. If there is an editor. I can't believe there is an editor. I didn't understand how difficult making room for a new wife could be. I never ever set out to hurt anyone. Oh my Lord. This is ridiculously redundant. I found that simply having a relationship with Cody hurt them. Shocking. Anything that he did for me had the potential of hurting them or making them jealous. I felt as if any kind of love and sweetness that they saw Cody and me share made them feel threatened and upset, so they shut me out. All right, live and learn, Robin. I don't know what to say. Obvious. I just want to say obviously. I don't know why this is like earth-shattering to her. There's a strange phenomenon that happens in our lifestyle. Oh, wait. I don't mark that too. She knows all about the lifestyle so much that she's going to share with us a strange phenomenon that happens. Her as the polygamous expert. Let's learn. When you are struggling with jealousy and insecurities, you manage to transform your sister wife into some sort of monster. You begin to believe that your sister wife harbors you ill will or intentionally means to harm you. And from this paranoid perspective, real problems begin to arise. Wow! Major dig at the OG3 right there. Major dig. So after her saying, I don't understand. Well, I'm not hurting them. I'm not doing anything wrong. Why are they thinking this? Wait, she does know the answer. This whole time she knew the answer. She's been faking it all along. It's a strange phenomenon that happens in polygamy. When you struggle with jealousy and insecurity, you're going to transform your sister wife into some kind of monster. She's not a monster. They just think she's a monster because of their jealousy and insecurities. Oh, this is precious. I love it. Okay. Usually, this paranoia springs from an insecurity about your relationship, not with your sister wife, but with your husband. Oh, yeah. You better start working on your relationships with your husband. Not my fault. Eventually, I discovered that some of my sister wives were often angry with me, not because of something I'd done. I didn't do anything wrong. But because they felt like Cody loved me more than them. He did. And this scared and threatened them. When I learned this, I tried my best to open up a dialogue with whichever wife was struggling with me. I would have loved to have seen that. I have never seen her verbally. I've seen her pull people aside and say, let's talk. And then she just says, like, what are you thinking? She just offers nothing. By talking things out, I was able to gain a fuller perspective and realize that their issues with me were really not personal. Often, they struggle with me when they aren't feeling close enough to Cody, or when they are dealing with their own jealousy or insecurities. It's all their fault. All their fault. I feel these things myself, and I have to work on dealing with my own insecurities and jealousies and not blame my sister wives or Cody for them. I'm doing the work too. See me? You three can do it as well. I know having a great relationship with my sister wives has less to do with them and me and more... I know having a great relationship with my sister wives has less to do with them and me and more to do with them and Cody. In order for me to develop the friendships with them that I'd hoped and prayed for, I know I need to promote their marriages, be a good friend, and help them through whatever struggles they may be having, and above all, support and love them. Oh, this is her explaining how she meddles in their relationships and how she also speaks Cody. There's her explanation right there. That's being a good sister wife, is getting into their relationship and trying to help them fix it. After all, we're all women working toward the same goal, the strength and stability of our family and our marriages. We all want the same thing, and we don't want to hurt each other. Despite this knowledge, insecurity, which is the constant pitfall of our lifestyle, rears its ugly head. You know, reading this makes me desperately want Cody to find another sister wife. Please, Cody, find another sister wife that's 5 to 10 years younger than Robin is, and bring her into the family so she can have this polygamous relationship that was always promised her, that she's so tormented over not having. And I want to see if all of this stuff that she accuses them of, she can rise above, have no jealousy, have no insecurity, not let those things rear their ugly head. Oh, I would do anything. I don't know. What do I want? Do I want that more? Or do I want a forensic accounting of Coyote Pass and the finances of the Brown family? I think I want the forensic accounting. Okay. Which would you choose? All right. Given a choice, what would you choose? A forensic accountant to come and expose the financial, however it works out in the end. Obviously we would want everyone to get their just due, but even just a forensic accountant that was able to go through all the books, because let's say Janelle still had a copy of everything, and they went and they put it on blast and it went on social media and everybody got to see where all the money went. Do you want that? Or do we want Cody to find a younger, prettier, skinnier sister wife from Robin and marry her and bring her into they both would be great. Oh, they both would be great. I don't know what I'd pick. What would you pick? I'm going to click on my chat. It's frozen again. Hi, Purple. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. Click, 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 click. Oh, and I just saw that your super chat was also the first one on a live stream. Congratulations to you. Okay, now we're moving again. Both is not a choice. Of course we want both. I'm putting you in, holding your feet to the fire, people. Come on, sister friends. You can only pick one. Of course we want both. If you can only pick one, I don't know which one I would pick, quite frankly, because the marriage would be ongoing. So that's like the gift that keeps on giving. But the forensic accounting, oh, that would be amazing. How embarrassing would that be for Robin to have exposed where she spent everybody's money, and Cody? And then that would probably lead to them getting some of it back in some way, but maybe not. Maybe they'd be so bitter that they wouldn't give anything. And maybe it wouldn't matter at that point because it would be, I don't know. Oh, Teresa Skinner, that's good. Let Cody get Roberta from Brazil. Perfect. Perfect. And Natalia. What are you talking about? Both of them, 2 sister wives. And then they talk Portuguese to each other the whole time. And Robin doesn't know what they're saying. Great. Oh, a merging of the 2 shows together. That would, the money TLC could make. Okay, all right. As you guys think and reflect on that, I'm going to see where I was here. Okay. Robin goes on to say, after insecurity rears its ugly head, instead of acknowledging that we are working together and that we want to make our family and friendships work, it can be tempting to think of your sister wife as the girl in high school who's fighting with you over your boyfriend. Figuring out how to navigate. Again, how does she know? She's just entering this. It's almost insulting and degrading to have somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, who's coming into it, who's like giving you advice on like, you're acting like you're in high school fighting over a boy. Get over it. Stop your insecurity. How annoying is that? Are there commercials, Lynn? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I had it. When I did James's, he told me make sure I turn on commercials. That's probably why. So what does that mean for you? Does that mean that you actually miss some of what I'm saying? Or does it just pause and then do the commercial and then, so like your feed would go a little bit longer? I don't know. He just told me to make sure that I turn them on because I didn't for the first one. And he's like, make sure you turn on the, well, it's not called commercials, but monetization. So I apologize. That's my bad. It must have still been set in there from last time because I had it set that they weren't in any of the live stream. I'll fix it for next Thursday. Okay. All right. Robin, who knows it all. Figuring out how to navigate our relationships is tricky. Even though some of us were raised polygamous, we still grew up in a monogamous world. Some of us, is she saying she thinks she was kind of raised polygamous? Because, not really. I mean, it's no different than, her dad was around like he was a long haul trucker or something, you know? Like there's a lot of people whose dads are gone a lot for business, or they're in the service and they have 6 months deployment, or goodness, I know somebody who's for 4 years, their father was working on stuff in Taiwan. And didn't see the family. Like that happens. It's just like somebody who's away. She didn't live polygamous. She didn't live with the other family. She didn't have to work things out. Her mom didn't have to work things out. She didn't have to work things out with other kids. And it was just her and her mom and her brother, right? Is that all there is? Her and her brother and her mom? Anyway, her little nuclear family had the dad there sometimes and not other times. And there was no other family. So she didn't live polygamy. Aside from our mother's relationships with their sister wives, we really don't have much of a frame of reference for how to deal with the conflicts and the jealousy that crop up. After all, we never see relationships like ours on television, in movies, or read about them in books. We have to navigate our situation blindly, without a map or outside help. I completely understand why my sister wives can be jealous of my relationship with Cody. Our marriage is fresh and young. They may sometimes believe that he loves me more than he loves them because of this, but it simply isn't true. I know Cody loves Mary Janelle and Christine. I wouldn't respect him otherwise. I know, however, that the best thing for Cody's and my marriage in the long run will be for him to validate his other marriages and reaffirm his love for my sister wives. All our marriages go through high and low points, but he needs to commit to them and they to him so that together they will work things out. She really thinks she's the family therapist, doesn't she? This is a universal truth in all marriages, polygamous or not. Although it's not always that simple, this is something I'm always bugging Cody and my sister wives to do because I like to meddle in their relationships. I want all the relationships in our family to be successful. Just underline that too with my new little pilot G2. When things become difficult between me and my sister wives, they have a tendency to block me out and not give me a voice. While they might be jealous of my relationship with Cody, I don't think they realize how often I'm confronted with the fact that they all share a history that I will never be a part of. They have a culture within their family that was long established before I came in. They have stories, jokes, struggles, and triumphs that are simply off limits to me. Sometimes it can be hurtful to know that although I'm married to Cody, just as they are, I will never be as deeply entrenched in the family history. I will always be the new kid on the block. Sometimes it's challenging to speak up and ask my sister wives to make room for me in their world. I have been in relationships in the past where I've been steamrolled. After this happened, I made a promise that I would always stand up for myself. She-Ra. Since my sister wives had developed such a solid and preordained way of doing things before I arrived, there was a tendency to brush off my suggestions. Not that they weren't good. They just brushed them off because she hadn't been around as long. That's why. Not because she's giving input on something she knows nothing about, because she's just entering it and they've been there for 15 years. No. It's just because she's the new girl. All right. I had to tell them that I deserve a voice in the family, too. However, since I wasn't around for those first 16 years, my ideas and concerns often got downplayed. During my first few months in the family, I would listen in family discussions while my sister wives and Cody would get angry with one another. I tried to suggest that there was a more constructive way of arguing, a safer, a calmer way. I know from experience how much damage can be done when you don't have control of your anger and frustration. But the family pretty much told me that they had their own way of doing things. Eventually, I showed them through example how to talk things out reasonably. Now, I'm often asked to help mediate family talks. Oh, she thinks she's great. Oh, I have to underline that too. I am sorry. This is putting pause on this, but there are so many examples of her inserting herself into the other relationships. That should be number one that she should have learned. Stay out of the other relationships. Just have a relationship with the sister wife. Just the two of you. That's what it's about. Do not insert. I don't know. It seems like since she's an expert on polygamy, she should know this already. My sister wives will sometimes try to mother me. I feel like I am the little sister wife. I have to remind my sister wives that I survived both a difficult marriage and several years of single motherhood on my own. I'm strong and independent. While I'm grateful for their advice, I don't always need it. Why would she have to write that in this book? Yeah, it's like she's talking to them, isn't she? This is like her way of saying everything she wants to say to their face, but she doesn't have the balls to do it. because she doesn't know. She wants to work things out and get people together, but she doesn't have the verbiage or the knowledge or whatever to be able to work things out. She just sits there dumbfounded always. Oh, let's talk. Come on. I feel like we have things to put on the table. I will admit, though, that in the later seasons, when the whole I Speak Cody stuff came out, which I think was just season 18, wasn't it? Wasn't it just this past season? If not, it was 17. That Christine and Janelle both admitted that Robin had them convinced that she could speak Cody and that she should be a part of helping them work things through. She had them convinced. So, they bought it hook, line, and sinker at the beginning. I feel like Christine was the first one that kind of caught on and went, I don't know that that's the best thing for our relationship, that you're always a part of it and trying to work things out. Maybe we should be trying to work things out on our own. Okay. We're still in the process of blending our families. This has taken a great deal of patience. Before I arrived, the Brown family had their own way of running things, which was slightly different from mine. Since they have so many children, they cannot tend to all the discrepancies that arise. They have a saying, quote, "If you're not bleeding, don't tattle," end quote. Don't tattle. I didn't pronunciate that very well. Don't tattle. For the most part, they leave their children to work out their own problems. I'm very emotionally sensitive to those around me, which makes it difficult to turn my back on even the smallest issue between two of our kids. If even the slightest disagreements arise, I want to get to the root of it, i.e., I want that kid to apologize to my kid. I want to sit the children down and talk through it, get to the source of the problem and solve it, instead of telling the children to go work something out on their own. It's my instinct to mediate. It is my nature to be emotionally in tune with everything around me, both good and bad. Oh, she thinks she's great. Doesn't she? It's just her nature. It's not like she's worked on it or anything. It's just God-given talent to be in tune with everything around her, good and bad. For instance, I'm careful to group our youngest girls in a way that one of them doesn't get picked on by the others for some of her quirks. I go out of my way to create an environment that is safe and protective for everyone in the family. What does she mean by that? What is she trying to say? I'm careful to group our youngest girls in a way that doesn't get them picked on by some of the others for some of her quirks. I go out of my way to create an environment that is safe and protective for everyone in the family. So which girls would be picking on which girls for which quirks? What's she trying to say? There's a hidden meaning in that paragraph. At first, the older kids and some of my sister wives thought I was babying my kids. I had to explain. I wasn't babying. Just be clear. Explain. I had to explain that I was just looking out for them. All of them. Not just my own biological children. I had to explain to them that I raised my kids to be more emotionally sensitive to one another and to be comfortable expressing their problems and concerns, i.e., cry to get what you want. That's what she does. That's what she taught her kids to do. That's all Brianna did when she was there. Cry, 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 cry. But she's very good about explaining it. She calls it emotionally sensitive. She raised them to be emotionally sensitive. It is not a sign of weakness, I explained, to address your issues head on. That's not addressing issues. Being emotionally sensitive is not addressing your issues. Addressing your issues is using words to communicate and explain your thoughts and feelings, and to maybe take ownership every now and then of how things are going wrong, and to not always make conversations be about, let's talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until you apologize. She's a piece of work. Soon, some of the older children grew comfortable with my parenting style. They've begun to confide in me because they know I'm patient with their problems. Another dig at the OG3, right? They know that I'll be patient with their problems. They are willing to spill their guts to me about their most personal issues. Ooh, that's a dig. That is a dig. There's the last thing that a mother wants to hear is that their kid is going to another mother, because they can be vulnerable and share. I mean, what do you want from your kids? Yes, you want to hear all about their day, but there's nothing you want to hear more than what's going on in their heart and their mind and what their feelings are about things. I would rather my kids, rather than tell me 99 things they did since the last time I talked to them, I would rather hear 5 things that they tell me what they thought or felt about something and what their feelings are on it. And she is pointing out that she has become that confidant to a lot of the kids, that they go to her now. That is hurtful to the other moms. So they're willing to spill their guts to me about their most personal issues, which is something of a relief for them. Oh, that's another dig. So these OG3 moms, their kids were suffering until Robin came and finally gave them a relief that they could actually talk to somebody and share their personal issues. They were struggling holding it all in. Oof. I want not just all the children, but all my sister wives to feel that I am emotionally available to them, so they can talk to me about anything. She wants to be in the thick of it all the time. All the time. During the first year of my marriage to Cody, my sister wives began to recognize what they call my, quote, emotional intelligence. Oh, man. This chapter's insufferable. It's just her making up excuses, making up lies, or just saying how great she is. Honestly. When I first started courting Cody, my viewpoint gave him a new perspective on his family and some of his relationships. At first, I think it was hard for my sister wives to hear my voice coming through when Cody spoke. But I think as time passed, my opinion was respected more and more. A little mark there too. Oh my goodness. Janelle has expressed to me that she is grateful for my ability to make a tough conversation safe. Mary also confides in me when she is working through an issue because she knows I will validate her feelings. Oh, nothing from Christine. Next paragraph. It's great. After Cody and I got married, Mary and I decided to see a counselor together. I mean, you did before, didn't we read that also? I think they were in counseling before they got married. Okay, but they also went after they got married. Okay. We both wanted to get our relationship to a great place from which we started. I was heartbroken that we weren't close because it was all I wanted. Mary was very mature about facing tough issues with me. It has made us better people and better sister wives. I love Mary so much. From the moment I met her on my cousin's lawn, I felt an eternal connection to her. Mary is loyal, fun, and good. I love spending time with her. We have a lot of fun hanging out and being girls together. We've both worked hard to implement the things we have learned in our relationship. She and I have repaired our bond and we've finally arrived at a place where we have our own friendship independent of the family. Now, I tease her by telling her she tricked me into marrying her husband and then abandoned me. Here's her trying to manipulate Mary. We have come so far that we can actually laugh at this. I'm so excited about the life that lies before us. The potential for an everlasting friendship with these women is the best thing our faith has to offer. Mary and I have come so far in our relationship, and I am so grateful to have such a special closeness with her. I'm on the path to developing a closer relationship with Janelle and Christine as well. Janelle and I have opened the lines of communication, and we have found that we have many things in common. She has amazing talents. I hope she knows how much I support her. I just kind of like how those two sentences go together. Can we just say, all right. She says, we have found that we have many things in common. She has amazing talents. Oh my goodness, that's great. So basically she's saying she also has amazing talents because Janelle and I have so much in common. She has amazing talents. Oh goodness, that's great. I hope she knows how much I support her. Christine and I are building the foundation to a better relationship. Oh my goodness. Some days, I know to let her be just where she's at. I miss it when she isn't her fun-loving self. Oh my goodness, this is great. Robin has not taken ownership for anything in this entire chapter so far. From the engagement to the wedding to the honeymoon to her relationship with her sister wives. None of it. None of it. She takes zero responsibility for the fact that her and Christine are just slowly starting to now build a relationship. And I miss it when she isn't her fun-loving self. I pray all the time that she understands I have her best interests at heart and that I love her. I bet you do, girl. I'm going to take a break. I have not looked at any of the chat, and this chapter is a little bit shorter, so we are definitely doing great on time. So, Zofran for everyone. All right, here we go. Oh, spirit art. Don't make me laugh. I'm trying to get this wild cherry candy and I'm going to choke. Listen, it's not me. I tell you, it's not me. These are her words. I mean, she wrote this comedy. Who knew? Straight up comedian. All right. I'm going to scoop back a little bit in here. You want both. You want both. The accountant you want. This is back to our choice. If anyone's just joining the live chat now, what would you rather have? You can only have one, although we all want both. You can either have a forensic accountant get a hold of the books that Janelle still has a copy of and go through them all and see where all the money over all the years came in and went out and where it all is. And that goes on blast. Janelle gets it out on social media somehow, okay? May or may not result in her getting her money back. You know, in the long run, I think Janelle's going to be okay too, because I think people are going to keep supporting things she's doing. Like, I don't know why she doesn't sell any merch. I would get a Janelle sweatshirt. She doesn't have any merch on her website. It's all like her personal coaching stuff, which would actually be kind of cool. Pay for her personal coaching stuff, or just to have her talk. This would be her. Hi. Hello. It's good to see you, Jenny. It'd be great. She'd be all up in her phone. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. I'm sure it's too much money. I would never do it. But yeah, that Janelle, if any one of them, if I was going to buy merch from any one of them, Janelle would be the one. Like, I think that if she gets on the right track, and I mean, I'm sure she's doing fine with whatever brand she's got going now. I can't remember the name of it. Strive with Janelle, I think. But I'd wear a Strive with Janelle t-shirt or sweatshirt or hoodie or something. I would. I'd wear it here on my live chats. So she's missing the boat there. If anybody knows Janelle who's watching this, let her know. Put some merch in her, make a store. Does she have any merch? I'm trying to think. No, she just has links to Amazon to buy things that she likes. That's all. She doesn't have any merch. So she could be okay long-term down the road. She could. And her and Christine could definitely do a spin-off and make money that way too. So I think I would sacrifice. I would be okay with the fact that it wouldn't result in a direct taking, although that would be great, taking money from Cody and Robin and giving it back to them. I love the end, but I just think putting it on blast would be amazing. However, option 2 is that Cody finds an equivalent of Robin to her sister wife. So somebody who's between 5 and 10 years younger, somebody who's about 10 to 20 pounds lighter, somebody who is half her size, and somebody who's very manipulative, more than her, who come in and do her, somebody who was like a stripper in the past or something and has all the moves that Robin claims to have, with a banging body. That's what we need. Roberta. Who said Roberta before? Yes, we need Roberta to come into this family. It would be a taste of her own medicine. Every single thing she's writing in this book and that she thinks and that she's lived by blaming the other ones. Let's see if the shoe's on the other foot, how she handles it. Oh, that would be so good. Oh, they're both so good. They're good choices. Such good choices. All right. You want Robin? Let's see here. Becky wants Robin to get somebody. But if Robin got, I clicked on the wrong one, but that's okay. Let's read this one, Becky. But if Robin got another young sister wife, then Cody would have more kids to destroy. Yeah, well, that's true. But, he could get somebody who doesn't want to get pregnant. So that we can work around that. Joanna wants a new hot young wife. Robin would cry even more. Forensic accounting for Renee. Oh, yeah, that would be good too. I don't know. See, the only thing I worry about with them getting a new younger wife is that the two of them could go off and continue the show without the rest of the people. I think I'd be tempted to watch it. I'd be like, well, we just won't watch it. We'll band together, but I probably will. So I don't want the gravy train to keep going for them because of a younger wife. And it may come to an end as Tara Lee votes for forensic accounting. All right. Mountaineer wants a forensic accounting. Athena says the same thing before. Yeah, we have to take into consideration the aftermath of it in terms of more kids. That could be an issue. I'm thinking of it in very simple terms, not long term. All right, another marriage would expose an innocent to Cody. Yeah, that's true. Forensic accounting would have a field day. Natalia, we have more votes for Natalia. She would be great. The younger wife, I think it was Kathy who said that. My thing's just busted ahead. Forensic accountant. Oh, yeah. All right. We're pretty much down the road about 50-50 here. It's a tough decision. It makes sense it would be 50-50. All right. I would watch it because Robin would hate it. That would be good, Lynn. That's true, Lynn. Joanna, a forensic accountant would make Cody lose the rest of his hair. And that might be worth watching too. Oh, yeah, Kathy. She would have to touch his beer and Skittles. Yeah. Ugh. That's a tough sell. It really is. All right. MJC says we know where the money went, and that's true. They have it, but I just want it proven. I just want the egg on their face. Would Cody get a new wife to save the show? Carol wants to know. He might. Although he kept insisting he absolutely would never get another wife. And Robin's the one that's like, I always wanted polygamy. So they kind of said the opposite of what I thought the direction they would go. I don't know. All right. Yeah, Natalia won't play nice. That's right, Virgo, Earth Angel, Tarot. Very good. Yep. We want Cody to be broke. Yeah, we do. Threw up in my mouth. Yep. Put him in a fighting ring. Have them all fight it out. That'd be great. Oh, Waldo's mom. I'm going with the younger wife with eyebrows to die for. She could be all jealous of the eyebrows every day. That'd be great. That would be great. All right. All right, we're going to finish up here. We're on our last page and a half. I guess if I wouldn't have stopped to do that, we could have finished on time, but there's no real on time. Okay. I want to do girl stuff with them all. I want to be close to them all. I love them all unequivocally. I want them to know that I will always be open to hearing what is bothering them so that we can get closer. I want to share our family's triumphs and sorrows with them. I want to support our husband together as a unified team. I know that the potential for this closeness is there. My sister wives already do so much for me that sometimes I feel lazy. Shocking. She actually said that. Oh my goodness. Can you believe she did? She said that. It's so true. I had grown used to taking care of myself, attending to all my business affairs, my housekeeping, and my child rearing. Now Janelle does a lot of the accounting for the family. Christine entertains and keeps the kids happy when we're all together. Mary gets us all organized for trips. They have taken such an enormous burden off of me. Hey, Virgo, Earth Angel, Tarot. The new wife should move into the McMansion. 100%. There's room there for her. Lots of rooms. She could have the whole, isn't in the basement? Don't they have like a whole kitchen facility? Wasn't that the deal with COVID? That it was all right that, what's the oldest's name? I forget. But begins with an A. Aurora was in the basement the whole time because I think her bedroom was down there anyway, but if not, there's a bedroom down there and you can walk in and out from outside. You don't even have to go through the house. They could have their own little place down there, and I believe that there was like a kitchen down there as well. So yeah, and I'm sure there's a bathroom. 100%. I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. All right. Did I say thank you? Virgo, Earth Angel, Tarot, thank you. Thank you again. All right. All right, she's saying what everybody does, which is true. These are the roles they kept. It's like nobody got anything taken off their plate when Robin came in the family. They just got a headache with her and less time with their husband. I have grown accustomed to having so much taken off my plate, especially after being on my own for so long. The help and support is welcome. I realize that I don't have to do it all. But you could do something. I mean, really. I mean, it's something. What does she do? I mean, besides servicing. I don't see her value. I don't. At Christmas, I really learned how my sister wives could come through for me. I had been sick leading up to the holidays, and somehow I had neglected to buy stocking stuffers for my own kids. I didn't realize this until Christmas Eve when the adults were sitting around stuffing stockings. I was horrified. Okay, can I just stop there right now? She didn't say she didn't know she was supposed to. All right? But we throw the excuse in right at the beginning. I was sick. I couldn't think straight. And we know how Robin and Cody act when they're sick. I'm dying. It's terrible. 98.8. I don't know how I'm surviving. How am I breathing? It's a miracle. Oh, goodness. So she knew that she had to get stocking stuffers for her kids, and she forgot her own kids. Okay. I was horrified, but my sister wives had it covered. I sat there in awe as they produced everything I needed to fill my children's stockings. Now that I've had my first child with Cody, I'm especially excited to see what my sister wives will bring to this experience. Oh, if we could use the word experience one more time. It's a Cody word that everyone is using now. They were wonderful throughout my pregnancy, looking out for my needs and lending a hand wherever possible. Mary even has a changing table and baby clothes in her house, so she can take care of my baby on her own for me from time to time. Right away, I could see the perks of having 3 wonderful women to help me raise not just this child, but my 3 other children. Of course, there will be struggles down the road. There are days when I'm so mad at one of my sister wives that I want to scream. When this happens, I have to find a quiet moment and talk to God until I arrive at a place where I can calmly talk to my sister wife about what is bothering me. I know that it will be part of my earthly triumph to work through these relationships with these women. Is that a Mormon term? I know that it will be part of my earthly triumph. Is there like a, I don't know. I don't know what those 2 words mean together, earthly triumph. Maybe it's from the LDS church, or I don't know. Okay. When I think about our relationships and how we develop them, I often think about a muscle. A muscle does not grow and get stronger until it is pushed and tested and sometimes even torn. When you work out, you are stretching and testing this muscle until it hurts. But when you are done, your muscle is stronger. That's what our relationships are like. I'm very idealistic about love and marriage. I want it all. The amazing love I share with Cody and the wonderful friendships I know I can have with my sister wives. While I plan never to leave the honeymoon phase of my marriage, I also imagine that I have 3 women who will ultimately be my best friends forever. Whoo, boy. Well, that last line didn't age well. Yeah, they're not going to ultimately be your best friends forever. They're actually not eventually even going to become your best friends. Yeah, and certainly not forever. I find it interesting that she's like, her whole plan is to be in this honeymoon phase with Cody, and she thinks that maintaining that in a plural marriage is going to have Cody continue to be what he was and serve everybody else as well. Like, I think her plan on being in the honeymoon phase was her plan to be the favored wife, to do whatever Cody wants her to do, whenever he wants her to do it, so that she's the preferred one, so that when she gets in his ear and tells him things that she wants, it would go her way, which came to fruition, didn't it? That's the end of that chapter. Well, that was a good one, people. I tell you, lots of comedy. Lots of comedy. Yeah, don't say. I didn't mean to click that. I just hit the mouse. Don't know what we're talking about, but Joanna, you don't say. All right. They hate you and we hate you. Okay. Robin should move into the basement so the new wife can have her time. Oh, yes, Sale. Good point. Good point. Yes, she needs to have her alone time to really develop that relationship with Cody. So Robin needs to become the basement wife. The basement wife we know so much about. Yes. Oh, unbelievable. Dee Dee. Oh, Dee Dee. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so kind of you. Right back at you. I appreciate it. All right. Robin needs 20 years with Cody because she's never had that. Yeah. Aw, Danny, thank you. I think the adults would ever write one again after the show. Whitney, I don't think the adults will. I think the kids will. Well, I put it this way. Definitely not together. There won't be another book like this, partitioned off. But I could see Mary and Christine. Now, Christine doesn't really need the money. Not that I don't know where Mary is financially, quite frankly. I just think Mary as a security blanket. I mean, what do you all think about this whole Mary's new business venture we've got going? I just don't think it's going to be that successful. I think she's really got a distorted perception of what the average American makes and what they're willing to spend on things. I don't know. I want it to be successful for her. I do. I want all three of them to thrive and be successful. But when you read what you get, like, first of all, when you just read what, I don't even understand what it is, really. And then you get a workbook, but like a workbook written by who and for who, and I have to download and print it out myself. It's a little confusing to me. She has some bad advice on that. She had some really bad advice. And the price point, like, it comes out to be over $50 a month, and I don't really understand what you get for it. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm looking into doing a channel memberships here, and I'm looking at like what could be offered for each of them, because I was thinking about, I'm not going to even, it's all thinking, planning stages right now. But even at that, I think the most expensive level is like $9.99 a month. And the next one's like, I can't remember. I can't remember what their recommendations were and like what to put in it, like what extra things could be offered. But I'm like, I still felt like what I was offering was even better than what she was offering, which was kind of nothing. Like there's a Facebook group you can join, but then you can join the Facebook group anyway. There's really not much. It's very confusing. It's very, very confusing. I want her to do well. I'm just disappointed. I feel like she had a really good advice in terms of marketing. She had a great marketer. She had somebody come out. I do have a PayPal. I don't know what it's under. I'll type it in chat. I have a PayPal under my business PayPal, I think is. I'm not going to type it. I don't know for sure. I don't want to put the wrong thing in there. I'm going to use for my business account. See, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll type it in the notes after. I don't want to take the time to look it up now. But yeah, I should be advertising PayPal too, right? Because PayPal doesn't take money out of your stuff. Well, my business account does, but not as much as YouTube takes out. YouTube takes out like 30% or something like that. I think PayPal takes out like 5%. Okay, what were we talking about? We were talking about Mary. Mary has an excellent marketer, 100%. The little video clips that she had, the little movie, the little vignettes, the like dropping carrots, the whole building up the anticipation of something getting revealed. She had somebody in marketing working with her 100%, and they did a good job. And they made quality little trailers to drop ahead of time. The problem is the marketer was so great. The product, I don't know if she had somebody consulting with her on it. Because when you read the webpage, it's just a whole bunch of buzzwords. It's like you're in a therapy appointment with 3 therapists fighting for attention and throwing out buzzwords on what they think things are. I'm like, well, what exactly is this again? I mean, we could probably at some point just go and like read through it and get a chuckle out of it, because if you really try to analyze all the sentences and what she's trying to say, it is kind of confusing. And in the end, you realize, so you're really not getting anything. It's just encouraging you to get into a space that's safe. I don't know. She said it's for all people, not just for women. But then on the website, it says this is for women, for her to be. So it was definitely all put in the female voice. So that was conflicting information. Like, I just don't think she really knows herself. It's like she's almost been over therapized. She's trying to take that and share it with other people, but she hasn't really figured it all out herself. I don't know. I'm a little worried about it. There's not a whole lot of tangible understanding. There is like some, I don't know if it was a Facebook group or live chat once a month maybe. And then something else twice a year, I think, that was offered. But that was like the $600 level. That's just a lot of money. It's a lot of money. A lot of money for me. I would imagine most people in America, it's a lot of money for. All right. Yes, MJC, you're right. I think she really believes she can help people. I think she does. But a tell-all book? She did say, though, did you hear in the Facebook, I didn't listen to the whole thing. And unfortunately on those Facebook Lives, you can't pause and jump ahead or rewind. You always have to watch it from the beginning. Or if you can, let me know. Maybe I could pause it. I think maybe I could pause it, but you can't move it ahead or go back. So if you start over, you have to start over at the beginning. And there's no sliding bar to let you know if she's going to be talking for 15 minutes or for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So it's a little kind of crazy. I don't like the Facebook Live things at all. But I started watching it until eventually I gave up and shut it off. And so what was I saying about that? There was a point and I got distracted by how frustrated I am with Facebook Live. Oh, she was saying something in there about, I know what it was, the book. That they said, will a book be coming? Was one of the questions that came to her. And she said she is still under contract. So I think that means yes, down the road. But like, as long as, who knows how long she'll be under contract. Somebody said that they signed a 3-year contract at the end of last year. So, I mean, if that's true, then is she a 3? I don't know. Obviously, you could probably get out. I don't know if they can break it or if they're guaranteed 3 more years of Sister Wives. I'm not sure. Not seeing the contract myself. I don't know exactly what that means. But it does make sense that anybody who's currently on the show, in terms of a repeating character anyway, who gets paid, let's put it that way, anyone who gets paid on the show is going to be signing a contract, and they're not going to be able to spill anything about what's going on. And we want all the dirt. We want everything, the whole behind the scenes from TLC. That's really what we want to know. We want to know, I want a producer, I would maybe even want to read a producer's tell-all book even more than any one of them, because the producer will be honest and truthful. But even if they were honest and truthful, I feel like sometimes they filter life through lenses of, not always rose-colored glasses, but just distortion. they see things a little different than maybe we would see the things. So I would love to have a producer write a book. That'd be great. But they would have to leave TLC, and I don't know how many years it would be that the contract would say you can't write. I mean, maybe it's forever. How many books have we seen written by producers that were on these reality TV shows telling you the dirt of the behind the scenes stuff? Almost none. So maybe you kind of sign your life away when you take on that role and say you'll never divulge any information, because it could hurt the franchise down the road or something along that line. Yeah, Tina, you agree? Yeah. Producers, people who film. I mean, even the cameraman doesn't even have to be a producer, would have a lot of inside knowledge because they are dealing directly and trying to get them to answer certain questions and to do certain things and all that stuff. And we saw for the first time in season 18 the pushback. It was amazing. Amazing how the producers are now putting out all those. Cody's been difficult all these years, but now he's difficult and angry, and I think they think this is gonna make good TV, and they're just throwing it on television, and I'm here for it. Like, yes, expose it all. We want to see it all. Robin's face during the whole, was that talkback? No, not the talkback. Maybe it was talkback. Talkback or look back. May have been talkback. Doesn't matter. Remember when she was she looked drugged, quite frankly. But she may have just been pissed. I don't know. McKelty says she absolutely hates those because she knows nobody likes her and she doesn't want to answer questions about anything. And she's stuck with Dimbo next to her, who keeps putting his foot in his mouth the whole time and gets all caught up in his emotions. And so she's just like, there's no place I'd rather be than out of this house. So, and they forced her into it. Clearly, you can see it all on her face. It was great. Like, I just want to see the realness. That's like seeing real television, is when the producers show you that. Arguing, putting the iPad down. I can't do this. I can't do this right now. Didn't believe a second of it. No tears. So yeah. All the family skeletons. That's right, Kathy. Yep. So McKelty did mention in her Patreon that her and Tony are not under contract. So they could write a tell-all book, but they wouldn't choose to do it until the show ended for fear of something they said possibly jeopardizing the position of somebody on the show. And they don't want to be responsible for, taking money out of somebody's pocket for them not being there. Or, God forbid, you say something and they shut the whole show down. Then that affects everybody. I mean, there's way more people behind the scenes than there are in front of the camera. So she implied, and she didn't even imply, I mean, she almost came out and said it. She kept saying she really wants to, but not until the show's over. So yeah, there we go. All right. Anything else here before we get going? TLC is sitting on this content and they like ratings and money. Yeah, they do, right? And TLC pays their people probably the least out of all of these cable channels. Like, not even half of what Bravo will pay their talent. Like, TLC is known for being very stingy on how much they pay their talent comparatively. I don't need a workbook for Mary. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I can't. When I first saw like this and I thought, well, maybe I'll do it for the people. Like, she's like kind of talking about it at the beginning and saying all that mumbo jumbo. And I'm like, I don't really understand what's happening yet. But once we get to the levels, I'll pick one and I'm just going to do it so that I can share with all of you. And I just can't. I mean, I work too hard for my money to give it to something that I don't really understand what's happening. Which, by the way, can I tell you, today, just for the heck of it, I don't know what brought it to my mind even. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was sitting there scrolling and I ended up looking up Christine's Airbnb. And then I'm like sitting in my mind trying to justify it. Like, what if I take my girls with me and we just did like a girls trip and we went to Utah And then we went there for a little bit, and then I thought, well, and I said, or I could go with my other daughter, and then we could maybe visit her in-laws. They live in Idaho, not far away, and they have relatives in Salt Lake, so we could maybe drive up and say hi to them. And like, I'm trying to justify in my mind going to the Airbnb so that I could then film a bunch of it for you all, and like maybe do a live from them. Like, wouldn't that be kind of fun? And I like walk around and show you all, and we could do a live from there. But then the nearest international airport is over 4 hours away. Yeah, no. That's a great destination place for somebody who maybe lives in that state or one of the nearby states. And you can, just make a day trip of driving there or something. But I'm not going to pay for an airline ticket round trip and then rent a car and have to have 8 hours of driving if nothing goes wrong. So it's a no-go. Outgrowing Cody is what we should call it. And the name of the book, when she has no NDA anymore. I love that, Outgrowing Cody. Yeah. Old Spirit Art could not make heads or tails out of Mary's chatter. And Old Spirit Art, based on your name, I would think that you were in touch with this type of terminology. More so than me, anyway. I've never been therapized, never been to a session. But yeah, it was just a bunch of, and go to the website and read it. Honest to goodness, it's almost funny how many words there are and how it says nothing. Do you want me to read? No, I won't take the time to read it now. Go look it up and you'll find it's very, Mary is cryptic. She is kind of. Yeah. She wants a lot of money. What can she tell us we don't already know? Mary should have called it dumpster fire. That would have been a good name. Yeah, I don't think she's quick to say she's not directly giving advice, and that this isn't coaching, and that she's not a therapist and all that stuff. And she keeps saying, I'm just going to be sharing all my experiences and then you can learn from them. But why don't you just then say, here are my different Patreon levels, or here are my subscriber levels for the, for a YouTube channel, and you can go on and I'll tell you my stories at these different levels. Like, it just seemed like there was a way simpler way to do it than investing as much time and money as it seems like she's put into this. The one thing I really didn't want to turn this into a Mary dissing party. I really didn't. Because I want her to be successful and I want people to do it. It's not going to be me, though. I just work too hard for my money. But it's just, the swag bag. If that, it was like a notebook like this size that said "Worthy Up," and it had a pen that said "Worthy Up," and there was a baseball cap, and that level was like $150 more. Oh, and Post-it notes. Wait, there's more. Go. Post-it notes, journal, pen, and a baseball cap. $150 more. I don't. Maybe there was something else. See, I shouldn't have done this. I'm going down this rabbit hole. You're all making me. I should go look it up exactly what's in each one. I just remember doing the math and going, it's not mathing. This is very much a Brown thing, isn't it? It's not mathing. All right. Okay. I'm going to cut it off here before I get myself in trouble. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Please, I'll go subscribe to Mary's thing. Don't listen to me. Make your own decisions for yourself. Go look at the website yourself and figure it out. And there will be a content creator that gets it all, and I'll let you know who it is if it's somebody who I like, and if it's not somebody I like, then you can find them yourself. But I wish her well. I think she has the right idea. It just didn't get manifested properly at all. and she needs somebody to hold her hand and help her in that area. It's just, unfortunately. And that being said, I just want to know how many people are doing Janelle's thing. Like, a lot of people don't know about it. There was no marketing for Janelle's thing. It just happened. She just happened to be wearing her Striving with Janelle shirt when she was doing the lasagna for Christmas. And I was like, what's that? What, does she have a brand? Does she do something? Like, zero marketing. So I'm curious if anybody knows anybody who has done this. From when I looked at the website, it's just life coaching. And then her favorite products that you can buy from Amazon by clicking on the link, and she gets a percentage back, I suppose, from that. That's really all it says. So I think she could be doing a lot. She really could. All right. Or, I guess she's still doing Plexus, isn't she? They just makes money on Plexus. I think because of their platform, they have a lot of people who want to kind of be in contact with them. So they got a lot of people to sign up, and they do quite well with that. I think they win cruises all the time, both Janelle and Christine. So they're doing well with the Plexus thing. All right, that's all. I keep saying that's all. I'm really going to go now. I really am. Let me type in here goodbye to everybody. We should think about it and tell me next time if I remember. Maybe I'll write it down. What money-making ventures do we want the OG3 to do? And maybe somebody who knows somebody in the family will share it with them. We could talk about it next time. Maybe we'll give them some suggestions in a direction they can go. I think the Airbnb actually is probably a good idea, and I understand the connection to the Moab Desert and where she got married and all that, but if it would have been by a major city, I actually was considering it, but not driving 4 hours. Renee, see you Sunday? Yes, you will. I will be live with James, and we're going to be talking more Robin. Amazing. We're going back to chapter 4, which is really the marriage chapter, even though all her marriage stuff was in this chapter. So we'll talk about that one. I don't know what time, so just pay attention when the little thumbnail goes up. James hasn't decided yet, but he said he is going to make it a little bit earlier. So maybe an hour earlier. I don't know. I don't think he'll push it to right away, but maybe he will. I don't know. He's figuring it out, deciding what works for him. All right. We would miss you without Sister Wives. I know. We need Sister Wives to continue just so that we can all keep getting together, sister friends. All right. It's my official signing off to all of you. Thank you again for all being here on my channel. I really like you all. I really do. This is fantastic. This is a good time. I look forward to it. I really, really, really look forward to it, especially because this is the only job out of my 3 jobs, and the only part of my job, just Thursday nights, where I can just come in with a blank slate and be myself and have a good time, because I'm not preparing. Even Sunday night, even though I've read the chapter already for James, I'll go back and take notes and all that, and it's all good. That I'm not saying I worry, I don't, but there's something special about Thursday nights where I can just it's just a relaxing day, and then starting around 6 o'clock, I go, all right, let me make sure I have everything all together and ready to go, and then it's just a good time. It's just us girls hanging out, and guys. I'm sorry, I always say sister friends. Sister and bro friends. All right. Good night, everyone.